Hi, Libra. This is Mary Ellen. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer or subscriber. And for all the new folks, welcome. It's really, my guides are saying, with quite an emphasis, really wonderful to have you here. I am here to deliver messages. I am intuitive clairvoyant. My guides lately have been calling me, and I work in very shamanically led way through my own history and traditions, which are widening now. But I'm here to talk to anyone who is committed to a path of light, their own self discovery, their own spiritual growth, awareness. Uh, yeah, anyone who's on the path, and that's what we're here to talk about today with Libra. So, a couple things before I start off. Mercury is in retrograde, and I am a Virgo. So, I know because I've done it on every video that I will likely make verbal mistakes when I speak. So, Libra, uh, if I, somewhere along the line, it's interesting, I've been saying, so Capricorn, just like spontaneously, it's a little frustrating. I do believe that my guides are asking everyone to go look at the Capricorn reading. I think I'm going to make a separate video about that. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you, as always, to look at the other air sign uh, messages because they do pertain to you because you work together as a group. So we're here to talk about your vibration. We're here to talk about the progress that has been made as you came through this eclipse season through the end of July. Specifically, we're talking about the new moon changes, or pardon me, see, full moon. There is a video about the new moon, but the full moon changes. It's been a very intense journey. And I have, like most of you, I've gone deeply inward. I'm feeling exhausted. I think that's a common theme. If you listen to some of the astrology folks out there, we just all have been pushed through the eye of the needle. So, the other thing, you can see one of my spirit masks on the table. My guides urge me to tell everybody don't be afraid of that. That is a manifestation of the power of the void and my travel into and out of the universe, the sacred places, the hidden places, in order to bring forward visions for myself and others and be able to speak about what I learn and what I feel and what I know after those visions. And I've been encouraged to bring that more into my YouTube practice, my guides are saying. So there it is. And I'm not going to go into that too much. So, Libra, it's interesting, just by happenstance, your reading is the last reading to come out. It's not a surprise, of course, now that I'm sitting here, because it's all about the balance. And that's what we're all striving toward. So, your energy, your frequency as a spiritual entity in a human, my guys just said suit, in a human suit, that's the energy that your soul wanted to work with, that you incarnated here as an energetic set point in that way. So we are going through a great shift and change. If you look again at the astrology, I urge you to inform yourself. My guides are saying, make sure you look at videos from people who have a spiritualistic, positive outlook. Because depending on whose words you listen to, things can be positive or things can be negative. It's really important right now to stay focused on the positive and to know that we are light workers. We are bringing forward the light. We may have to travel into the void, into the underworld, in order to bring forward the light. So my guides are chattering on about that. I'm going to clip it off. But, okay, so now they're saying, as you understand, light travels through the universe. It takes many eons for it to become visible to us, and it must travel through the dark. So there are allegories, metaphors like that coming through, okay? So my guides have been saying, just in case I forget, they asked me to put this stone on the table, and there's a schism in the middle of it. It looks a little bit like a lightning bolt. So they're saying it's part of why the mask is here, just to help us all understand this is where we went. This is the place we're traveling through, in a sense. It is an event horizon, according to my guides. They're very insistent about the way this uh, moon cycle from the new moon to the full moon, um, the purpose of it. So, you go into the black hole where all is unknown, the great mystery, in order to travel through the event horizon. And the purpose is to come out the other side. And this is what we come out with. So they love this stone. It's one of their favorite pieces, they're saying, that I have because of visually what it represents. So my God, they're saying, and there's the theme of the reading. So in a sense, indeed it is. Let's go through the oracle cards. We're going to jump into a full reading, and then I'm going to pick a rune for you, or two. Two have been coming out. So the first card we've got here is Prairie Dog. Sweet and precious, my guides are saying. Standing at alert. They have a way for quick, instant retreat, my guides are saying. They're very wise. They know when to be present. They know when to be invisible. Isn't that mysterious? So I'm going to read from the book a little bit for you. Prairie Dog Medicine teaches that strength and inspiration can be found by retreating into stillness that quiets the mind. The strength of this medicine is also knowing when and how to replenish your life force. Interesting, and the Emperor's here. Prairie Dog Medicine people tend to seek self-empowerment in silence and inactivity, where they can access dreams and visions without intrusions and worldly chaos. When they re-enter the world, they are profound and powerful anchors of calm resolve amid life's storms. Very interesting, because we see the woman of skill here holding the sacred threads of destiny. I like it. Let me just scan to see if there's anything else that my guys want to talk about through the writing in the book. Prairie Dog teaches you that in order to access gifts of inspiration and renewal, you must be at peace with yourself and rested enough to recognize the blessings being offered. Very interesting. I'm going to leave it at that. Because clearly we're talking about your power. We're talking about coming into your power, because we see the Emperor here. So let's take a quick look at the Beauty Way. Look at this lovely card. I love that there's a dragonfly in it, and that is part of the message. And a beautiful lotus flower. So the Beauty Way is both a path that you travel and a daily practice. It is the notion that when you choose to perceive only beauty in front of you, behind you, and all around you, as a way of journeying through your life, it is a sacred decision. The practice is where you take action to bring beauty into every situation that you are in. When everyone else perceives only darkness, okay, really fascinating. See? So when the world presents you with darkness, you point out the light and help uncover the hidden treasure. Ooh, it's giving me a shiver. Thank you, Spirit. The Beauty Way invites you to create beauty in your life and to recognize the beauty inside yourself and in others. Make sure to stop and smell the roses. Take a deep breath. Look up at the stars and recognize the splendor that surrounds you as you see the beauty in whatever situation you find yourself in, and you will receive the lesson that life is teaching you in a kind and gentle way. So my guides are talking about, they always say it this way. It's the thing that humans call Buddhist type teachings. I believe part of the notation is, yes, we're talking about your personal journey, the foundation that you're on now, because of your frequency, your energetic set point. Each of us has been pulled through the eye of the needle. It's the second time they've said that. It's interesting. that might come out in the reading. Um, it's what's really important going forward from here. This message is just to give you some information about the effects of this full moon eclipse. We're going to be standing in this, my guides are saying, in an acute way until the end of July. And then, of course, the energy is going to shift. And August will be the next place. My guides, they've been talking about a train, the next stop on the station. So we are talking about just rest in what you have received and the experience that has been given because of this full moon cycle. And prepare yourself to rest in these notions as we go forward through the rest of the year, because this carries us forward a minimum of 6 months. And depending on, some astrologers say for a full year. So we're always cycling in some way. So my guides are saying being mindful, pun intended, in a Buddhist type of tradition of mindfulness about the beauty way, and being alert and knowing how to balance yourself, to rest, to retreat, to be quiet, to go inward, to maintain your ability to be on the beauty way. The mental exercise is, of course, they're still talking about Buddhists, loving all that is. Now, that's not the only tradition that has that mindset. But do you see how this woman is, in a sense, she's just sitting, clearly in touch with the sacred realm, in a state of literal ecstasy, because she understands something and she's just giving thanks to it. So as you go forward, understand that this is the way, this is the new foundation that my guides are giving to you, suggesting to you. Okay, I'm being corrected. The moon cycle gave this to you. Right? My guides are just here to speak about it and to give you love and encouragement and hopefully some clarity through me, if I can provide clarity in these moments of retrograde. So the book is, this is from the Journey of Love Oracle. And basically it just says you are a wise awakening being. And there's a lot of discussion about loving your pain, loving your overwhelm, loving the fact that you're in need of rest, and we all are coming through the cycle. Really important to take care of yourself. It's time to love your energy and passion, even when you are so far ahead of the pack that you have to wait a while for everyone else to catch up. And I suspect, Libra, that maybe that's a common experience for you. So basically, the book goes on and it says, love all your emotions. Allow yourself to be in the ecstatic state. No, because you know that you're on the beauty way. And like a prairie dog, you sniff the wind. And you know when to stand up, be alert, and when to dive into the burrow and have some downtime. And give yourself permission, because this is who you are according to the way the readings come out. So there's a sweet message coming through the oracle. It is very simple. You are just asked to love, because everything else will take care of itself. This is a precious state of being, allowing, receiving, and becoming one with all that is. And I believe it's encouragement because of the fact that we are meant to be aware and supporting with our own energy the Capricorn. So please go watch the Capricorn message, okay? It's getting real. And I've seen several of the astrology folks saying the same thing. It's about to get real now. We've been prepared. You're here as a light worker for a reason. And it's time to understand that that is actually really true. So coming forward, as the old form becomes shredded and begins to fall, it's, my guides call it the Jenga tower. So the Jenga tower has little pieces been pulled out for a long time, huh? It's still standing. And we're talking about globally. We're not just talking about the crazy town stuff that's going on here in the U.S., although that's enough for the entire world, isn't it? So, beautiful Libra, look. That's what this message is. Transferred. They wanted me to pull out this card because it's really familiar to everybody. This is how you become the emperor in your life. You become very powerful, very stable. in your ability to understand your place and what your energy set point is for. And that is what you are meant to wield. That's how you wield your power. So, Spirit, my guides really want to speak with you about that. And then that's the theme of the message if you're new. And then this card is about you. This is about your energy right now. So, look at that beautiful blending of male and female energy. Queen of Wands, who does hold destiny in her hands, doesn't she? Isn't that beautiful? And so, we see these beautiful images of the divine masculine, the divine feminine, sacred, the sun represented, firepower represented in this card, right? And here we see the mystery realm. This woman holds not just destiny, she holds the spool of destiny. And she winds the thread of destiny around the tower of inspiration that is actually within her, but of course, for illustrative reasons, we see it externally. Standing in the mysterious realm, standing in the universe, the place where okay, my guides just said the place where the silent feminine power resides, the place from which people come and go, all those kinds of things, the light. So they're talking about the feminine as the source of the light of the active male principle. Fascinating, huh? So let's see what my guides have to say, Spirit. What is it? Okay, so I picked up the deck. One of the cards didn't come up, and I thought, all right, we're going to take that one. And there it is, of course. Are we surprised? Thank you, Spirit. That is the Death card. In Soul Tarot, Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck, it is the liberator of devotion. It's exactly what I just said. That's kind of funny. So there's the shaman carrying the head, the place where the soul was thought to reside, across the portal. The Death card, the feminine portal, being carried into and out of the universe for a sacred journey of rebirth. Ooh, wow. And you are holding your destiny in your hand. And when you return from this sacred journey, okay, my guides are telling me just pull the cards off the top. We'll see what happens. That's the purpose of this journey. The foundation of skill. 6 of Wands. Victory, Libra. You are in divine partnership with the mystery realm because of your energy, your frequency, your set point. Really interesting. There's a lot of notations of fire in this reading about the air element. And I think it is, because we're talking about creation in all these ways, air and fire, right? It's combustible. Things happen. So my guides are just confirming for you that your ability, your openness, your ability to stand on this new foundation and assist, you've become a master. Oh gosh, I see this is not. Hang on, let me pull the camera down a little. So this card is about coming through some kind of rite of passage that brings you to the place of being a master. You've mastered your skill set when it comes to creating and managing and using the energy of fire. Really fascinating because you're on your beauty way. Okay, my guides are saying you know when to turn up the heat and when not to. And it's this ecstatic state that you're in that brings to you all these attributes. That's fascinating. Yeah, just exactly what I was saying. So, tower moments coming forward. You may have a tower moment in your personal life. This eclipse really shook us up. A lot of things came to an end. So you may have experienced something like that. This also, I believe, references being prepared for the tower moments that are coming as we go into 2020 and Saturn and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. So, when you understand what that means about how the effects on the earth here, there's going to be a rumble. My guides are saying there's going to be a rumble, like an old-fashioned street rumble. There's going to be a rumble. And we have to be ready. You need to be standing on your foundation You need to have come through your transformation to be prepared for this. So if it's happening in your own life, do your best to understand that it is the beauty way. Sometimes things fall away. In this deck, the Tower card, hold it up a little bit, is actually the title of the card, the name of the card is the Changer of Truth. So that's what you are intent on doing. And Libra, you're always looking for the truth. So more beautiful male energy. And it is the same coloration of this card. It's the color of transformation. So it's perfect. All right, Spirit, what is the bridge card, please, for beautiful Libra on their beauty way? Let's see what that is. Libra, how much do we love you? Look at that. Okay. The Warrior of Art, Prince of Cups, my darlings. This person has literally been through a life, a death, and rebirth. He is emerging from the Sacred Passage tombs at Newgrange in Ireland. If you don't know about that, go online and look. And when he reemerges, sorry, it's late afternoon here, so the light's a little challenging. He has his power in his hand, and the light and his frequency and his energy, which is his power, bubbles up from within him. That is how he does battle. He has no armor, he has no shoes, and yet he is a warrior. He does battle literally with love energy. That's how he actuates change, my guides are saying. So this is a very powerful message. I'm going to have to pull my camera back a little bit, I think. Pardon me. All the readings have been really this deep. Do not fear your beauty way, my guides are saying. You know what? Here's what I'm realizing in this moment. You know, this is the last reading. That's why my guides wanted that mask on the table. You see that mask? If you don't know what that's really about, you can conjure up all kinds of crazy, frightening thoughts in your mind. So when you think about this beauty way, this pathway that you're walking now going forward, because we are preparing to rumble, because it's in the stars, it's in the cosmology. We are going through a death process, out into the void, into the dark that is the universe, out of which the light arrives. It's so stunning of a notion. So you are going through something, because we see this, and we see you on a new foundation emerging out. Here's the foundation you're on, the Warrior of Art, but you got to go through this to get there, apparently. So I haven't looked at the astrology for anybody this month. I just wanted my mind to be clean and pure, my guides are saying, so that I could deliver the messages without any preconceived notions. So I'm happy to see that this is in line. Libra, know that you are literally in line. Here's the next card. With everybody else, okay? Everybody's going through this. Our frequencies are being attuned for ourselves, but also with each other. So going forward, I am going to begin to really request that people look at least one other reading and, do it by your chart. Look at your moon sign, look at your Venus sign, definitely, your rising sign, because each one of those things will have some threads of your own energy that'll help you understand the totality of yourself. That's the High Priestess. She is the guardian of the gateway. Getting all choked up now. So this is a first card on the level of the soul. What is the circuit of your soul? What's happening right now? What's the intention? Why is your soul here, embodied in this way? So again, we see sacred feminine energy. You see the water element flowing from the heavens. There's the sacred mother. She holds her spear in her hand. She has your power. And she holds a sacred disc. She has a shield. And we see orbs of light. She is the guardian of truth, just like you are. That's why she's here, to represent you in the most sacred of ways. Mysterious feminine power. Look, the Emperor. My guides are saying, it's only the Emperor that can bring that on consciously. So my guides are talking about, you're bringing this. There's something happening in your own life. I think through your own power, You're bringing forward some kind of shift and change. Something's going on, Libra. Leave me some comments and let me know, okay? What's happening? Because I think this is a reflection of you. So, when you stand before the high priestess and you request entry to the temple, you don't get in there unless you go through a shift and change, because she holds the wisdom of the ages. She holds both the dark and the light. If you take a look at the card in the traditional tarot, she has the new moon at her feet and the full moon in her crown. That's why she's here, because of the nature and the timing of the reading. So the guardian of truth is the guardian of the gateway. And when you go through your sacred renewal process, it is only then that you are allowed to come through the gateway. Very interesting. I really like it. And here's what's next. Look at that, the Sun card. In this deck, and you see this person's been through male energy, having been through a transformation, dressed in the sacred color of purple, right down to the shoes, tattooed with it, actually, standing in the full light of the sun. Sacred abundance. In this deck, it is known as the protector of sacred lore. So there is very clearly a sacred theme, my guides are saying, going on in this reading, because they want to drive home the point. They want it to be simple and clear in every place in the reading. Okay. So when you emerge, we see you here going through the process. You've been being given the change as a gift because it is the Emperor that has the power. Yeah, to initiate this, to command you in a sense. And of course, all of this is within you. But my guides are saying, this is your reflection of the cosmology as it affects you. Really interesting. All right, let me see. Spirit, can you give us one more card, please? Yeah, and there it is. Look. Sacred companions. This has come out in so many of the readings. That's the Seven of Pentacles. It's about waiting for something to blossom. That's the moment that we're in. Because after July, it's on. I promise you. And again, my guides are saying, go look at Capricorn. Look at how Capricorn has been prepared, turning into a shamanic warrior to lead the earth forward and to be able to endure the destruction of structure that's coming. Because we need it, don't we? So we are all touching death. That's what this young man did. It's a little story about Halloween. For us, of course, we're taking the inference about the intensity of the full moon eclipse. So he stepped out to touch death, put a rope around a corpse. It was a tradition. When he stepped into the field, he had a vision. And he saw the place where he lived burning to the ground, his little town, his fort. And as he stepped out into the field, and he had this vision, it carried him across to the underworld, known as the land of the fairies in Celtic tradition, well, Irish tradition. He was met by a woman there. See that? Interesting. A fairy, known as a banshee, right? The fairies that call out warnings and screech and all that kind of stuff. She helped him. They assisted each other. He fell in love with her, and she said, you have to go back. You have to go back and cry out a warning to prevent this disaster from happening. You got to warn people. And he did, and he traveled back and forth a little bit, and in the end, he returned to the land of the fairies, and he married this fairy woman, and he was allowed to remain there. So, we are talking about destiny very clearly. The way the sacred story that we embody, and look, the way destiny comes forward for us. It's a sacred story. The last reading I think I did, my guides were talking about, out of the mind of human beings comes the soul story. Because on some deep level, we know. So they were talking about Star Wars and all those kind of sacred stories, Avatar, all that really fantastical stuff. We feel the truth of it. That's why it comes out of us, and that's why we love those stories. They're mystical. That is a prophecy. That is the Ace of Cups. That's the outcome card. It is about the beginning of happiness, abundance, joy, the sacred waters, the sacred cauldron out of which all things arise, all healing, all abundance. You see the beautiful shining city in the background? It's really interesting. We're going to talk about what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, not surprised. So, that's where we're going, Libra, and this is what you bring. This is the outcome for your energy. This is your beauty way because of all the things that have been spoken. This is what it brings to you if you put your attention there and remain in this notion of loving all that is. It is that positive mindset, that positive heart set point that brings the ability to manifest. So you are really, really, really coming into your mysticism, my guides are saying. Beautiful. Ace of Cups as an outcome, really assisting. And here's what's interesting. So we were just talking about this beautiful fairy woman. Maybe there she is. Right? So we are being released. My guys just want to, look. Ooh. Okay. Do you see that coming off the bottom of the deck? On the far right, that is the Eight of Cups. It's a notation, given everything that's come out in this reading, walking away from something, and it's this thing, right? That's what we're walking away from. And this is what we're manifesting, is all of this happy, fabulous stuff. Because, like my guides were saying, we're going to rumble. There's going to be some rumble. And they're talking about like street gangs and stuff, those notions from the 50s, like, I can't pull it out of my mind. You know what I'm talking about. The famous musical from the 50s about street gangs and about love and fighting over love and things like that. There are going to be fractures in the sky. So this is about a statesman, actually, who had some modicum of power. He's got his wand in his hand, and he became aware. It became clear that he was being stolen from and that there was a lot of group of people that were up to no good. And he finally went in front of them and said, "That's enough. This stops right now. And by the way, give me back my stuff that you stole." Things like that. And the other folks refused, and they were turned into beasts and banished to the forest forever. But there was a rumble that had to go on. This was not a peaceful moment, but it was a moment of stepping into power. Because you're living in the beauty way. As the emperor who can bring the tower moment. And there it is. I'm kind of liking this. Libra, we wouldn't think of you, would we, most of us, as this kind of a kick-ass warrior, but you are. You're coming into it on both your male and your female side. So do everything that you can. And there's the being banished, right? There's the walking away. No longer stuck to this. Whatever doesn't serve you. A lot of people have been through separations of some kind or another. And my guides have been saying there's a very sacred purpose for that too. So try to bless that energy. Try to know whatever that's about, however it's going on, whether it's your love life or not. It may be a job. It may be walking away from, your willingness to engage in a situation that doesn't serve you. It may be just that simplistic, just saying, I'm not available for this anymore. And it's too bad that this is kind of how it's going, but I know it's the right thing. So you may not be walking away from somebody. You may be walking away from the way in which you perform inside the relationship. That was a mouthful, like this. Because this is the outcome. And this is what it brings to you, in a sense. All right? And so look at the beautiful woman of battle. There she is. Love her. She has been through her initiation. She's got her spear in her hand. She got her amulet on. She's looking straight into the winds of change, isn't she? She's dressed in her passion. She's got her hand open. She's ready to receive whatever comes, and she knows it's coming. In the book, if you read the book about her, uh, it is Queen Maeve in a sense, right? So Queen of Swords. She's not going to put up with anything, is she? Absolutely not. No, not for a minute. She is the first one into the gap in the legends about her. So it's really interesting. Spirit, where do you want to put her? Hang on a second. Different manifestations of the same woman, my guides are saying, right? She's standing in her power. So we're seeing all the manifestations of feminine power all over this reading. I'm going to put it right there with the sacred masculine, who has also come through his rite of passage. I really like it. So this is beautiful. I'm going to pick from the bag of runes. The readings have been long this month, gang. I sort of apologize about that, but I just thought I just have to do my duty. So thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. All right, Spirit, this is a beautiful reading. Really, no doubt because of Libra, right? The most beautiful expression of the balance of the energy, of taking up the energy, being able to balance in it. Come through your process, come through your shift and change. Look at this. You see, this is the Death card. We're talking about destiny, feminine power and destiny. And we're talking another notion about death, about touching death in order to make the garden grow and get the outcome that we want. It's given me a shiver. Very mystical. Okay, let's see. Where are we going? Like here to here to here. The gateway. You gotta let go of what's not serving you in order to come to the gateway and talk to the high priestess about her sacred disc. So hey, go look at the Virgo. Look at Virgo and look at Capricorn and anything else that inspires you that might be in your chart. These readings are chock full of information this month. Seriously. All right, Spirit. Okay, Spirit, please give me the message meant for Sacred Libra. What is it that they are meant to know? Coming forward. There it is. Oh, it matches perfectly. Look, hang on a second. Where am I going to put this? Right there. I think it goes right there. And I'm going to read to you from the book. It's about averting disaster. Interestingly enough, avertive powers. All right, so this rune of defense, according to Ralph Blum, whose book I'm using. All right. So this is about the yew tree. It indicates issues of defense and avertive powers. That's right where we started. We're coming full circle. I love it. So this is the rune Ehwaz. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm just acknowledging. It's Ehwaz. I'll show you. See that? Okay, so as we are tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. Thank you, Spirit. At the same time, we develop in ourselves an aversion to the conduct. This is perfection. To the conduct that creates stress in our lives. See? We're just not going to participate in it anymore. And of course, we bring the hammer down and just say, done with it. Tip the bowl over, it's time for it to go. If there appears to be an obstacle in your path, consider that even a delay may prove beneficial. Do not be overly eager to press forward, for this is not a time or situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel that Ehwaz offers. Nothing hectic, no acting needy. I'm sorry, just lost my place. See what I mean about Mercury retrograde? Okay, nothing hectic, acting needy, or lusting after a desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that can arise at the beginning of a new life. Often, it announces a time of waiting and the Seven of Pentacles is on the table. for a spring to fill up with water, for fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance and foresight are called for here. The ability to foresee consequences before you act is the mark of a profound person. And we started with the Emperor, didn't we? I love this. This reading is really rocking my socks. So avert anticipated difficulties through right action. And yet, even more than we are doers, we are deciders. Once the decision is clear and the doing becomes effortless. Pardon me, I read it wrong. Once the decision becomes clear, the doing becomes effortless. For then the universe supports and empowers your action. Receiving this rune, you are put on notice that through some inconvenience and discomfort, growth is promoted. This may well be a trying time. Certainly, it is a meaningful one. So set your house in order. Tend to business. Be clear and wait on the will of heaven. Libra, really, seriously, I feel like the universe really just spoke through you about the purpose of the present moment and what's coming forward. And we see it in the cards. And of course, it's you, Libra. You know, Capricorn is taking up the shamanic power of the coyote and the curse. Please go look at that reading. And here you are. It's really interesting to me. There's something really powerful coming forward, and it is being shown to me and hopefully to us, my guides saying, meaning the folks who come to my channel. So do yourself a service. Look at the readings, please. There is prophecy in these readings this month. That's part of why they're so darn long. Thank you for being here. Sorry about the light. I don't know what to do about that. We're having the remnants of Hurricane Barry, so it's just been very overcast. Have a wonderful rest of the month. You know, for the rest of the month, go in your prairie dog tunnel. Rest. My guys just said, chew on some grass. Chill. Because you are still in the process of this transformation. Okay? Take really good care of yourself. Allow yourself to just ponder this. Let it sink in. Let the energetic process finish. Know that it is going forward, but you clearly are on a new foundation, and there is a very majestic purpose for it. Okay? So thank you, everyone, very, very much. I'm not sure what to do with her. She's just here, my guide said. She doesn't care where she's standing. I look forward to, Goddess willing, I'll look forward to speaking with you next month. And I will be with you energetically. I am going through my own very deep, beautiful process. Have had a tower moment of my own. So I trust it because it was the perfect thing. And I hope that you can see it as your beauty way as well. And just in these moments, just love all that is. Just love the hurricane, my guides are saying. Thanks, everyone. Please use the comments section to teach us all to express any insights that you have that I may not have spoken about as the reading came out. You know more than I do, often. And, you know, as I always say, I could talk about this for 3 hours, this reading, easily, but that's not fair to you. So share your wisdom. Anything that comes to you while you're watching this or while you're looking at the cards, definitely share it. We need each other in these times because we inform each other, and all together we go forward on our frequencies, join together, the sacred tapestry that my guides have been talking about, because clearly this reading demonstrates that you are your purpose. Thank you, Libra.